The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent. What's up, everybody? This is Nigel Hall.
This is Derrick Freeman.
And you are now in tune to the Shadow People. It's good to be back in the Shadow Box with you, sir. We have had a very, I don't know if it's been eventful. I ain't really been doing shit.
Anyway, I want to thank you. And your lovely wife, Jamie. You had me and my lady over at your house last night, and we had a beautiful dinner, so I want to thank y'all for that.
Oh, yeah, we had a real
in an undisclosed location.
In an undisclosed location,
right.
Yes.
Anyway, that was lovely.
That was fun. That was fun. She threw down, bro.
Yeah,
I know my wife can cook, but she never ceases to amaze me every time, because she was like, honey, I'm gonna do this, like before the whole thing, because she like to get prepared. She prepares, and she was like, honey, I'm gonna get this, and I'm like, yeah, because I know whatever she does is gonna be good, but I was not expecting it to be. It was like you couldn't have gone nowhere and paid for that kind of food last night. That shit was killing. So shout out to my wife. I know she's watching, so
watching and judging.
And
it's okay. Thanks. We appreciate all the ladies and all the comments and all the commentary.
It's all good. Yeah. Shadow People Podcast at gmail.com. We want y'all to like and subscribe if you like and would like to subscribe. And we welcome all of your questions, concerns, and comments to that page or to that email or to the bottom of the video that you're watching right now. Yeah, that shit was fun though last night. It was good, and we want to have y'all back. We should have been recording. Hey, real talk, Drew. We should have been recording there because we had some interesting conversations last night.
Yeah, dinner conversation.
Dinner conversation. That shit was killing. Hey, I'm going to talk about how proud I am of New Orleans showing up to vote.
Yes. So
talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Your boy Janky Jeff tried to be slick. The problem is, you got to be a little smarter than the average bear if you want to be slick about some shit. The problem with Janky Jeff is that
give him some context first. Let's talk about what they were voting.
Well, he was trying to slide in some amendments. Basically, one, they were trying to fuck teachers more.
Yeah.
Another one, they were trying to put teenagers in prison with no recourse, like just an automatic, like, if we decide he needs to go to prison, we can just do that.
We can just do that without any sort of...
Another one was about some tax cut. They even have 50 Cent. I'm going to send you that. I got a text message from 50 Cent telling me to vote yes on Amendment 2.
What?
Basically,
are you serious?
Yeah, I'm totally serious. I will find it and I'll send it to you.
Are you fucking serious, bro? 50?
Yeah, because he got a studio in Shreveport and he was going to get a huge tax cut based on this amendment.
This is Curtis James Jackson. You might know me as 50 Cent. I have a special message for the people of Louisiana, as you may have heard.
Shenanigans. Also, my polling place. Now, I found out it's because my polling place is on the parade route, and of course, the parade didn't happen. That's another subject. But anyway,
a lot of shit didn't happen that was supposed to happen.
So I believe on Wednesday of last week. Now, the election was Saturday, right? So on Wednesday, I got a postcard from the, Alliance of Good Government, whatever it is called. I feel like a thing that most people would just throw away. But I opened it up and it was a voter registration card, which I already have. But this one said that my polling place had moved to Jackson Avenue. I usually vote on Washington at the firehouse.
Right.
This I said that my polling place was at the school on Jackson.
Right.
And I'm like, I got this through snail mail 3 days before the election. I'm like, how many people knew their polling place changed?
Exactly.
I'm like, see.
That's what I'm talking about. And I had that.
The Shenanigans was in full bloom, but guess what?
Yep, we showed up.
You're not that slick.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You was a dummy. So that's what happened.
And that's the other thing too, is I was having a conversation with my wife about that morning about like whether or not I was even gonna go and vote, just because I with a lot of other black people, have a stigma about going to the polls and voting for shit. But I realized that when you in your city, when you're voting for things that's going on in the place where you live, you have more of a chance to make a difference than a like a presidential vote or some shit like that, because we all see how that shit goes. But that's what the media shows us all. And so it's important to go out and make a difference in where you live, because your voice actually does count to some degree. And we had an example of that yesterday where we all showed up and we were like no to all of that shit. So,
Yeah,
for the most part.
Most of the surrounding parishes, besides St. Tammany Parish,
Yeah.
who voted yes on all 4 amendments. And this is I gotta go off a little bit on St.
Go
Tammany
off,
Parish.
man. Go off. This is where you do it.
I don't know where you guys think you live, but it's not fucking Beverly Hills. It's not the Woodlands. Like, it's a strip mall in the woods. You guys are fucking tripping. What the hell do you think St. Tammany Parish would be without Orleans Parish?
For real.
Is this a joke? And, half of y'all work down here, don't pay taxes here. Because y'all messing up the goddamn roads, driving back and forth to the North Shore every goddamn day.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all got that audacity, so it's okay to put teenagers in St. Tammany in jail.
Yeah.
Which teenagers? Y'all need to stop.
Yeah, y'all
You know what
need
I'm
to stop
saying?
with that bullshit.
Come on, man. Like, it's not.
Y'all know better
It's not
than
that
that.
nice.
Y'all acting all fucking
It's
bougie
just
and
like
shit,
any other suburb. They got 100,000 suburbs nicer. than
It is no
goddamn St.
different than my
Tammany.
fucking neighborhood.
That's what I'm trying to tell
My
you.
neighborhood actually is kind of better than that. So,
The point
and
is,
yeah, that's the point.
no, I'm not shitting on anybody's. There's some nice houses. People got that's all good. I'm just saying, y'all need to check yourself. And even if it was that nice, it would be inconsolable. But at least that would make sense to me. I'm rich enough to be insulated from you motherfuckers, so we could do whatever we want. But you know what I'm saying? But y'all ain't like that. Y'all
Right.
one step above us.
Right.
Y'all ain't got a pot to piss, and you think Jeff Landry give a fuck about St. Tammany Parish? Y'all need to stop. He care about y'all because y'all got blind loyalty to that shit. So
Right.
he's a
Exactly.
fool. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need
He's
to
a
think
fool.
about what's going on.
He's a fool and y'all some fucking fools.
You live
so
in
vote
you
for
live
them.
you live in Louisiana.
Bullshit.
What the hell you think is funding this shit? You think Louisiana can survive without New Orleans? Stop it.
For
And the
real.
children of New Orleans, where the talent ooze from the ground up here. What the hell you think is happening? What you think people eat?
And those are the
what
very
you think they listening
and
to?
those are the very fucking people you want to put in prison.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
asinine. Stop it.
And you don't want to take the time to help the young and help the children. You want to fuck the teachers over, so the teachers don't want to give a fuck about what they're doing,
Right.
because you don't give a fuck about them.
So y'all can be safe. It's safe up here.
And save money for your fucking vacations and
Stop it.
your little debutante fucking.
St. Tammany,
You know what I'm saying?
y'all
Bullshit.
get the gas face for that shit right now. Stop it. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
I'm
That's
done.
what's
I
going
don't
on.
want to.
No, that's all right.
I
No.
love people that everywhere. I love the whole state of Louisiana, but y'all need to check yourself.
I love people everywhere too, but people bullshit sometimes, and it's necessary to call them out on it. I mean, shit, I get called out on shit daily, and I learn from it or I fight it. So, that's what's going on in the world. What you watching now, man? What you watchy?
Oh, I just watched the Shonda Rhimes thing in the White House with the butler gets murdered.
Oh no, I ain't seen that yet.
I'm not gonna give nothing away, but it was.
I gotta see that. I watched.
It's a lot of your favorite
Adolescence.
people in it. It's like one of them,
Yeah,
ensembles.
it's my girl, Crazy Eyes.
Yes,
Crazy.
Aduba.
Yeah,
we love her.
yeah.
She's,
So you know what?
yeah.
I want to talk about this, man.
Uh-huh.
First of all, I'm gonna say happy early birthday, because I am not gonna be here on your birthday, and I know that you are going to do something that I really want to be a part of and go do, and
I'm
I'm
not gonna
very
say 'cause
upset.
I don't want to get stalked, but yeah, I'm doing something special.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's that's why I brought it up. But that's all good. That's all good. But that's all right.
But nobody knows when my birthday is. But they can look at. No, they'll find out easily.
I mean,
When
you on
It's all right. It doesn't matter.
you on the internet.
Mhm.
So
But yeah,
but other than that, I got fucking asked to fill in and play some gigs for a band that I love and I really, really respect.
I was literally sitting next to you.
You
when
were
got this
literally
call.
sitting next to me yesterday when I got the call to do it, and I'm very excited. I'm also not going to say who it is because you're going to see it if you're in the place where it is. Are we being too cryptic right now?
Nah.
No.
I mean, maybe. But
I kind of, I don't know.
Maybe this is a cryptic episode.
I mean, but yes, mystery. Ooh. So yeah. So look. So I know y'all see all of these drinks sitting around us, and yeah, I know you about to get.
I'm about to crack this.
I know you about to crack that open.
Now this is a Crescent. Wait, hold up. This is a Crescent
ahead.
9. This is a new flavor. This is a raspberry lime. This is from Crescent Canna, and I for one
cracking the seal.
I for one have been enjoying these.
Yeah, can you tell?
And you know what? I want to thank Crescent Canna for these refreshments.
Yeah, shout out to Crescent Canna, y'all.
Blessing the podcast with these. So anyway,
I'm psyched.
Y'all should go get some. They got them
y'all
all
definitely
in all the
should
stores.
get some. And y'all know that we promote sobriety on this podcast, and you know we are Cali sober, of course, and you know they got THC in them, so watch out. You know, I would be drinking one too, but right now I'm on sabbatical just because, you know, I feel like I want to do it, need to do it just to check my shit. You know, it's something that I have not ever done in my life other than drastically stopping everything because I had to. But
Is it messing with your dreams?
Is it what?
Or your dreams have been different since you stopped smoking?
No. You know what? I actually been sleeping really good since I stopped smoking because I get up in the morning and because I already get up early. Like I already get up at like fucking 6 o'clock ready to go. No matter what time I go to bed. And so, yeah, it hasn't really been messing with my dreams, although they haven't been as vivid as they were. You know what I'm saying? If I'm having them at all. Because usually if I'm huffed out and then go to sleep and have a dream, I remember that shit when I wake up. But now I'm not really too concerned. I'm more concerned about my coffee. Like that's the first thing. Like I was mad as shit yesterday because I fucked up my coffee. I could not believe that okay, so I tried to fix myself breakfast yesterday and I was very upset because I just knew, first of all, I got everything going and I just knew I was killing. I was in there. I thought I was fucking Gordon Ramsay in that motherfucker. And I had all the burners on and I had the coffee going and the coffee was grinding.
Cussing your ass out.
Huh?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was in there and I put the eggs in there. Nigga, I burnt the eggs. How do you burn eggs at this age?
I don't know. How did you do that?
I can't believe it, man. I was so upset with myself. I burned the eggs, and we ain't got a toaster, so we do the toast. You know, we put the toast in the fucking pan and do the pan toast like actual toast. Fucked that up. The house was burning. Jamie got up. She's like, "What's going on in here?"
She smelled that burnt toast.
The fucking house burning down. I'm like, nothing. Everything's fine. You know. Fucked my coffee up. I changed my creamer. I usually had this hazelnut creamer that I usually get, and I went to the grocery store that morning. I was like, you know what? Let me switch it up. That shit was nasty as shit, and I was mad, so I couldn't have my coffee right. So yeah, maybe I should start smoking weed again and get my shit back together because I won't change nothing.
No, I'm not trying to. There's no pressure.
No, ain't no pressure. I mean, I'm grown. I mean, look. This is the point. Is I've decided that I was going to actually. It all started from me having a conversation with my sponsor, who I'm really cool with and close with, and we was talking, and I was telling him because I had just gotten off a tour with Lettuce. And I hadn't smoked that entire tour, which was kind of the first time really that I can remember that I didn't smoke or do anything, you know, during a tour. And I told him that, and I was like, yo, yeah, I haven't, you know, because he knew I was Cali sober. He doesn't necessarily agree with that because he is completely sober and has been for some time, but most of the old school cats don't agree with that. And I'm cool with that and I understand that, but that's their journey. This is mine. So, and that's the other part about it. And so when I told him that, he was like, all right, well, I'm going to challenge you. I challenge you to do 90 days without smoking, without gummies, without anything. And I was like, yeah, that's light work. Because at that point, it had already been a month. That had already been 30 days.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So at this point, here go the fucked up shit, is that I've lost count. I don't even know. So I could have very well done my 90 days. But at this point, I'm going
Just the
to
journey
wait.
you on right now.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
the journey I'm on right now,
get it.
and I'm cool with it, and I'm probably going to start again after Jazz Fest. I'm going to wait till after Jazz Fest to start. Because I got a whole bunch of other shit I need to do and get
When the people
done.
give you weed during Jazz Fest, you could just
Oh, I'm gonna give it to you.
Cool.
I'm gonna give it to you, and I'm gonna save something. Yeah, I'm gonna have Jamie stash. And I'm gonna have your stash.
Now, I'm gonna circle back to the dreams, but this, y'all remember they got arrested? Y'all, yeah, all y'all definitely remember.
Oh yeah,
So,
I remember.
Anyway, so I had to stop smoking weed for a significant amount of time based on circumstances of said arrest. So, my dreams got really vivid and really violent and gory. And I was like, oh, this is why I smoke weed. I was like,
because you're a dark motherfucker.
Yeah.
On all levels.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
that was a revelation, you know what I mean? Because I come off
Yeah.
bright.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey. And
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, it's
Yeah.
not really what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm not like sad. I'm just not.
You just thinking about all the motherfuckers you can push downstairs.
Yeah, and
Get
I just
away
think
with.
about like all the people that label me a clown over the years, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
can see how you could perceive me that way.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
You
It's
could-
unfortunate for you if you perceive me that way, but
Yeah.
also
Yeah,
like
exactly.
also like part of me is like, think I'm a clown, huh?
But
anyway. So yeah, that's why I asked you about your dreams, because my
okay.
dreams got real.
You know who a real dark motherfucker is? I've learned Danny. Danny is dark. Danny is fucking Danny. And this is one of the reasons I realized this, and I thought about this, and I realized that this is one of the reasons why I love him so much, because he embraces that darkness, and he's able to navigate. Danny is able.
So I look at it as realism,
And that's what I'm saying. It's because that
I'm
is what
realistic.
most people don't.
This is why he does the news.
This is why he does the
It
news.
makes total
this
sense.
is why Danny does the news, is because he is able to take the realism that we choose to not look at, and when everything is bright and unicorns and be positive and be happy, while the fucking world is fucking crumbling around you, and you supposed to fucking sing zippity doo dah. No, we don't do that. That's not real. And that's one of the reasons I respect him and invite and embrace my own darkness even after this, So yeah, shout to the DA who is off camera, but he has a microphone. He is here with us.
I'm still here.
And he is still here lurking in the darkness.
In the dark corner.
Literally in the dark corner.
Literally lurking in the darkness.
So appropriate.
Yeah, so
Anyway.
appropriate.
So yeah, Janky Jeff, sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Also, you know what I find kind of funny, because your boy, Donnie, he doesn't like losers. We tried to trust Jeff and he didn't come through. He's a loser. He's sending the state into they're going. It's not gonna happen for you, Jeff. It's all the pandering and the ass sucking.
I tell you
what,
what.
I'm just saying, what was it worth it? Because nobody, and it's not like, and it was a lot of conservative parishes that voted no on a lot of these amendments too. Some of them voted yes on one or whatever. I'm just saying, but it was no's
Right.
up in here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
60%
exactly.
some places, like 90% in Orleans.
Yep.
I'm just saying. So like, all right, so
Yeah.
you got you sent a message. And you got a response.
It makes me feel good that there are still some people especially in this society right now, that have some fucking sense.
Right.
God damn, because for a minute
You tried the okey
Yeah,
doke.
man, you tried the okey doke, and if you fell for the okey doke, then that would lead to some different circumstances, and that would be like, well, looks like we're doomed, but we're not completely doomed. You know what I'm saying?
Just like mostly.
And if it just.
Which is fine. We've been on that trajectory for a while.
Yeah,
Thanks.
but it does make me feel really good that there are people that still believe in something. And I mean, while these things might be minute to certain people, these are very. I mean, you got to think about teachers and you got to think about children, and we live in a world right now where this nigga has fucking deactivated the Department of Education. You know what I'm saying? Dismantled in front of fucking children. Literally in front. Sign the bill in front of children.
Who brought their children there?
Who the fuck? Was the question. Who?
I'm like, what?
Like, who does that? Who brings
know.
your children around this nigga in the first place? Number one, for anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's really sad that we live in that kind of world where we don't care about children now. Like, children are like, money is first, children are last, education is last, the well-being of children is last. You know,
but you must have them.
But you gotta have them. We gotta have them. You know what I'm saying? It's just really fucked up. So, you know, it's like a glimmer of hope in all. It's like a glimmer of a ray of light in all of this darkness. So, you know, it's
all Babyface songs, I believe. Am I right? We're just like,
for real, bro. Oh man, that's crazy. I really would like to do. You know what's funny is I thought about this the other day. Is I would really like to do this show live.
Yeah, we've been talking about it. There's been
some. It'll be a lot. There have been some murmurs, but I would really like to do this show live. If you want to see this show live somewhere,
it'd be great if we could
go
just sponsor that.
You know what I'm saying?
Just a thought.
Yep. Yeah, just a thought. You know, anyway, think about it. I got to do some really cool shit over the week. I got to go to Richmond and do some recordings with Butcher Brown for this project that we're going to do with Lonnie Liston Smith, not Dr. Lonnie Smith. Dr. Lonnie Smith is passed away.
Been unalived, right?
He's been unalived.
Okay.
But Lonnie Liston Smith is a keyboard player and pianist. He was one of the pioneers of the acid jazz movement. He was one of the people who was alongside Herbie Hancock and George Duke, who brought the Fender Rhodes as the forefront. He played with Pharoah Sanders. He's played with Miles. He's played with everybody. And he's had his own career over the years, and he lives in Richmond, Virginia. And we got to do some stuff with and for him. And I was really, really, I told Jamie that, like, there was a point in the session, and it's rare that it happens, but I was literally like in tears, and it was very eye-opening that, like, when you feel, just like we were talking about, you know, in this world of fucking chaos and, you know, disorganization and misinformation and just everything that we all going through as a people and as a human race, to be able to channel something so beautiful as music and as art and reach the level of like tears and happiness, like you can, just like we were saying, just like the Babyface songs, like the glimpse of happiness. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's really fucking amazing to do. It's really amazing. And it's really, especially after you know, because I've been able to do things like this, fortunately, for some time. Every now and then something like this happens where I get to do something with people who I love and like my heroes, you know. But this particular time, man, I just really felt, because we did the song Expansions. He has a song called Expansions, and I'll tell a quick story about it. And this is why I was crying. Because I left home when I was 15 on my own. I was living with my father and my stepmother, and me and my father and I was just at that age where I was full of piss and vinegar, where I was like, fuck all of y'all, I'll do this shit on my own. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't getting the support that I thought that I needed at that time. And I decided I was going to leave home, and I was just going to go out on my own and do it on my own. And that's how I ended up in Maine. But I got on the bus that day, the day that I left home, and this was back when we had Walkmans. They're going to show you how long ago it was.
Right.
I'm really dating myself. But back then, you had batteries in the Walkman, and you couldn't use your tape player because you would run out all the batteries. So it's best to use the radio because it takes less battery. And I remember being on the bus, and I remember being scared to death. And I was sitting on that goddamn Greyhound, like wondering what the fuck I was gonna do. Like, I've talked all of this shit, and now here I am, and I'm leaving home, and I'm like, how am I gonna eat? Fucking, where am I gonna live? Where am I gonna stay? And I was listening to a radio station in DC called WHUR 96.3, and this song came on, and it was Expansions. And I remember listening to it all the way through. And I just remember after that song, I just really felt like I was going to be okay. And I told Lonnie that story. And he gave me he was just gave me the affirmation that, you know, how much that meant to him. And it was just a really cool experience. It was really, and I'm trying not to cry right now because
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was just real deep for me. It was super deep, and you know, it was just really cool. So you know, I think a lot of people got some wins this week. So you know, yeah, that's a great place to take a break. We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back after these messages.
Cool. Love it.
Oh yeah, these messages right here. Crescent 9.
We'll be right back on the Shoutout people.
Oh shit, your face, bro.
We're back. This is episode 10.
Episode 10.
Double
Man,
digits.
you know what? First of all, before we even get started with this next subject, this is kind of an inaugural episode, right? This is 10?
10.
Or is this 11?
This is 10.
It's 10. It is 10. This is our 10th episode. I'm fucking stoked about this. I didn't think we would get honest. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't think we.
You ain't got the lie, Craig.
You ain't got a lot to kick it.
Right.
I didn't think we was gonna get. I thought we would. Man, fuck it. I'm gonna just say that I am very grateful to have a platform with people who I love and respect, and being able to share my experiences and my truth with the world in a room with people who I respect and who are like-minded. And it's rare that people get to have that kind of shit, man. And
yeah,
thank y'all for tuning in, and thank everybody here for being a part of it, because like I said before,
I've saved a lot of money on therapy since we started this podcast.
You know what I'm saying?
Must admit that.
I mean, I still very much go to therapy, and because I need it. But I told my therapist the other day when I had my session that this platform is a huge form of therapy. So I want to thank you, Derek. I want to thank Danny Darko over there. I want to thank Drew. I want to thank Brownhound Sounds, Pound Town, and just this whole thing. Like, we got a thing now. And, you know, I'm getting a lot of people who are hitting me up, and I'm sure you are too, and I'm sure y'all are, about, you know, watching the podcast, and like, we actually doing something here, man. And, I mean, we ain't got millions of views yet, but that's what we working toward.
Hey, the Revivalists are fans.
And the Revivalists.
We saw them in the parking lot there, you know, so maybe
perfect.
one day we might have a surprise.
We got a lot of guests for
Yeah,
y'all. We
exactly.
got,
So
look,
many,
y'all
like-
don't even know. Like,
the guest list is getting large. It's
we
like,
got shit
right.
that's happening. And that's the other thing too, is that it is building momentum that I was not expecting it to build. And I'm very, very proud of all of us with all of the work that we put into it. So yeah, man.
And I appreciate
Shout out
I
people. We
appreciate
out
the
here.
cats listening too, but all the cats that listen, the homies, like, you know, just share it a little bit.
Yeah,
share, like,
share it.
subscribe,
share, like, and
encourage other people
subscribe,
too. You know what I'm
encourage
saying?
other people.
People's parents, I found that most people's parents love this podcast.
Yeah, I know, because
maybe because we're old.
Yeah, because we
But-
too old niggas. That's why.
But I didn't personally anticipate that happening. So I'm glad that the adults let us
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
to the club.
And look, we too heavily opinionated people, and we might not always be right. I mean,
We
but
need some
look at all of the
adverse
fucking
opinions.
stupid rhetoric that's out in the fucking world now that a lot of us are subjected to. Them motherfuckers ain't right. I can tell you, them motherfuckers ain't right. At least there's a question. So,
I love it.
yeah, man.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. You want to start it, or you want me
No,
to?
I definitely want you to start it.
Woo!
Let's talk
about
Marvin
Marvin
Sapp.
Sapp. You punk ass bitch.
Oh,
Yeah, I said it. Let's talk about that.
wow.
This nigga was in church,
Church. God's house.
in God's house, and locked the doors. This nigga thought he was Joe Clark. He said, put them chains on the doors. Code 10, put the chains on the doors and told everybody that they were not leaving until they donated $40,000. Until the $40,000 limit was reached. So basically, he locked the doors of the church and robbed these niggas.
Wow. Tax-free.
Tax-free. And then was like, don't worry, we all leaving together.
That's some Jim Jones shit. What
you
is
know
it?
what I'm saying?
The hell you mean by
what
that?
the fuck is that?
Okay.
And this is, I know I'm going to say some shit that's going to ruffle some feathers, but look, man, this is just what it is.
We worried about feathers now?
I'm not worried about shit,
Right.
obviously. And I know that I have some friends of mine who go to church and shit like that and whatever. But I'm going to just say, I'm not speaking for them. I'm speaking for me. You're not going to rob me, bro. If I come to church, that's the last place. That's the last place in the world. I come to church for healing. I come to church for safety. I come to church to be safe. Let's just start there. And then I may not come, the Bible say, come as you are. Whether you financially stable or broke, which is most of the time. Most of the people that go to church ain't got money to be doing like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's true, but they also ain't got money to be going to Beyonce concerts. They still go.
That's
Everything's
true.
going up.
That's very true.
He's
That's
like,
very
hey,
true.
y'all got to pay.
Yeah,
Y'all ain't got to come here.
that's true.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true, but
no,
church
don't get
is
me
the
wrong.
last
Don't get me wrong. I'm
place.
not taking his side. I'm
I know
just
you're
being,
not. I
I'm just
know.
being
You
devil's
just,
advocate on that. I'm just like it's
You're
it's
great at that.
Which kind of like leads to the point of that it's also just entertainment.
All I'm gonna say
It's
is,
not really
I
like- you know what I'm
wish
saying?
you would fucking tell me while I'm in church that I'm not leaving.
Right? That's insane.
That's insane.
Crazy.
And all y'all gonna get y'all ass beat on the way out. If that's how it's gonna be. Like the Bible, like I was saying, Bible say come as you are, bro. That's what the word say. I didn't say that. The word said that. So if I'm in church and I come for the word and I come for some sort of spiritual healing and then find out I gotta pay $40,000 for it, nah, bro. It's gonna be a fight. You seen that? It was I got find I got to find a clip where my man was fighting in church, where my man stole on the pastor in church. Yeah, man. And see, this is the problem. This is the reason why people in pastoral positions cannot reach the youth and cannot reach people with the word because they have taken the word and tampered it.
And people just it's the people deifying them too. It's like they just regular people. Some of them are scumbags. Some of them are great people.
Full fucking scumbags.
But it's
bro.
like y'all gotta stop deifying these regular people. It's like we gotta if you seek, if you want to seek God and you need I understand. I'm just saying, but I don't understand why you got to go to a mega church. I just don't get that. I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should find your people, connect with your people. You know what I'm saying? But, like, your people ain't 70,000 people, though. That's not how it works. There's no tabernacle in that. You know what I'm saying? You have to, if you're going to be a church person, go find your church. Go find your people. Go find your pastor, somebody you trust or whatever. But, like, this commercialism of it, it's why people turned off. This is why it's convoluted. It's why so many people don't have religion because it's just like how some people feel like
That's
that.
exactly what I was getting ready to say.
People feel like that the same way they feel about the police.
Exactly. They say they see the police as the fucking Klan. Because I tell you, I know a lot of people, including myself, who see the police like the Klan. Anytime we see them lights, the first thing we worried about is our life. You know what I'm saying? And for instance, I used to have, he wasn't my pastor by any means, but I used to watch his show a lot because I really believed in the way that he was saying what he was saying. And y'all can look him up. He has since passed away. He passed away actually, I don't know, probably about a month ago. And his name is Thaddeus Matthews. And he was called the Cussing Pastor. And this was a wild dude. But I'm a wild dude, so that's why it worked. You know what I'm saying? And I wish I could have gone to his church. His church was called the Naked Truth and Liberation Ministries in Memphis, Tennessee. And I was really into what he was talking about because he would speak about the word and he would use the word, but he spoke in a way where I can understand it. You know what I'm saying? Where I was with that. And y'all should really check him out. His name is Thaddeus Matthews. And look, it ain't for everybody, but everything ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole point. And you know, maybe there's another side of that. Maybe there's the side. I mean, I don't get why this, because we talk about Marvin Sapp, but let's talk about the other guy who not long ago, who got robbed. The pastor who got robbed in Brooklyn. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah. I don't remember his name, but I remember the story.
I can't remember his name.
We'll find it.
But yeah, we'll find it.
I'll look it up
but
later.
he had like $100,000 he robbed somebody of. He took and went out and bought Range Rovers and showed up to church and fucking chinchillas and all kind of shit. You know,
the shit Frank White told you not to do.
The shit exactly. Like, bro, what are you doing? That's the whole point.
Remember, like on Goodfellas, when Jimmy told me, he's like, he pulled the coat off there, he was like,
he was like, well, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? I told you not to fucking, what are you fucking?
I told you not to buy anything.
He slapped the shit out that dude right in front of his wife, too. That shit was crazy, man. I'm telling you, man, these pastors, man, y'all really got to get y'all shit together, man, because this ain't it, bro. That ain't it. That is y'all. Like, look, if Jesus don't come back right now and fix that shit, man, I'm telling you, that's some wild shit, bro. I don't know what the world coming to, man. But we say that every episode, don't we?
Don't we?
We'll be right back with a food for thought. Check it out.
So, Nigel, how did you come up with this food for thought idea?
Well, I came up with the food for thought idea because there are a lot of things. You know, I used to watch fucking 60 Minutes with my parents.
Mm-hmm.
I was
that's weird. Yeah.
Weird fucking kid. But one of my favorite segments on it was Andy Rooney at the end. And I felt like whether I understood what the whole episode was talking about,
the drama of him.
And I always loved that. So when we started this podcast, I was like, well, what if I could do something like that? And that's when I was like, well, because I've always been really into doing like I have a couple of episodes of this thing that I call Behind the Groove, which is also on YouTube, which maybe we can put on this page just to have so more people can see it. Mm-hmm. But it was just chronicles of things that I would shoot out when I was out on the road and, you know, talking about shit I wanted to talk about. And I loved editing the video and put my own music to the video and stuff like that. So it was something that I had already was kind of doing. And then I was like, all right, well, why don't I just do it for this show? Because it'll be like Andy Rooney. And although y'all been sitting here listening to me talk for the past fucking...
Morally safer.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know. So I figured it was a... I figured it was a good idea to just at least try it and see how it worked. And I mean, since we doing all this work trying to make the shit look like we got some fucking money, you know, then why not? So yeah, but this one, and it all starts from like when we was like I was talking to you about earlier about, you know, having a platform of being able to, you know, talk about some of the things that concern us on however many basis, you know what I'm saying? And also dealing with like things that we experience on a regular basis, you know what I'm saying? We talk about all this shit all the time. Like, this is what we do on the phone, this is what we do sitting here. We do this shit all the time. So the one that I think inspired this one was I got a phone call from somebody that I know who is an artist, and they said something to me that was like, I'm going to do something that goes up against the shit that you doing right now, you know? And they said it kind of jokingly, you know, and like, I just don't think that shit is funny. But
the competition aspect.
Yeah, the competition aspect, because I feel like we all as artists are working really hard to just be sane, you know? And it is a release of tension. Art is tension and release. And it's a release of tension to just get it out of your body in the first place, not trying to impress anybody or not trying to go up against anybody, you know? I think it's really fucked up. And I think that I explain the shit in this installment of Food for Thought. Cool. So check it out. This is Food for Thought with Nigel Hall. The endless race of artists competing for the spotlight. Because nothing says passion like stressing over who can paint the prettiest picture or hit the highest notes, right? It's great to know that while the world is unraveling, we're all questioning the divine inspiration behind our art instead of just enjoying it. All right, now what I'm about to say applies to all artists. And it might ruffle some feathers. As the saying goes, hit wolves will holler. One thing I notice is how we often feel pressured to conform to what is considered the norm. It's almost as if we believe that success comes with a side of cookie-cutter living. To me, that's a classic example of high school bullshit. See, I believe that this mindset stifles your growth as an artist. And instead of following the crowd, you could be innovating and creating fresh ideas, exposing others to a perspective that they may truly need to consider in their own lives. You might come up with something that you think is really amazing. I have a theory, and anybody who's ever worked with me in the studio knows that if I create something that gives me goosebumps, and that's the direction that I choose to pursue, if it invokes that kind of emotion in me, then it feels like it comes directly from a higher power, and I believe that we are all vessels for this inspiration. To question the message or gift that you've been given to share with the world can lead to some real suffering. You know, it's fascinating to see what people truly worship. Usually it's money. Sure, we all need to pay the bills, but who knew that chasing cash could dilute the general art? I guess passion and purpose are just optional these days. You know, I recently performed with Lettuce in Columbus, Ohio, and just before we took the stage, me and one of my bandmates talked about how music affected us as kids and the emotions it invoked, you know. And I shared a memory when I cut out an image of Stanley Clarke's bass from a record insert and taped it to my tennis racket, pretending it was my own limbic bass. My dad was really pissed about that, actually. We discussed the importance of capturing that feeling, even as adults, when we perform and share those emotions with the world. You initially felt this way not due to external pressures, but because you dared yourself. You stepped boldly into a space filled with judgment and negativity from all of them people who wish to undermine your confidence. They want to make you question what comes to you naturally. Embrace your strength and resilience, even in the face of adversity. It's your courage to explore your feelings that sets you apart and fosters your own growth. Have any of y'all ever considered how much mental stress we could eliminate by focusing on art purely for art's sake?
I'm not upset with y'all because I know you're mentally ill, which is why one day I'm going to open up a hospital.
Many artists, myself included, encounter burnout because we get too absorbed in our own ideas and we lose the motivation to create. Now, some people, they choose to push through and struggle, while others wisely take the time to rejuvenate. I won't pretend to be an expert. I'm not a doctor. I'm more of an aficionado of questionable decisions. But I can confidently say that aiming solely for fame and financial success often leads to uninspired art that screams desperate. And let me tell you, my dad always said to me, if something starts wrong, it's usually going to end that way.
Message.
One thing I notice is that it creates division within the community of artists. We are all different individuals, and we express our unique interpretations of the Creator individually and uniquely. I know some people don't believe in God, which I find strange, but hey, that's okay. I always say that you have to believe in something that gives you purpose. If I could only create what you can, how extraordinary would I be? And if my only goal was to be as talented as you, would I even be talented? My point is, it's essential to step back and figure out what drives your desire to compete in the first place. Starting a project out of envy can really stifle your creativity. Sure, some people get a kickstart from it, but let's be honest, it usually results in polishing turds, which I've done many times.
You think I'm stupid, son? You're trying to con a con man. You're not even learning anything on the streets, are you?
Instead, why not connect with something higher than you? Let go of the envy and embrace the good vibes, and who knows, you might grow something beautiful like a rose through the concrete. Instead of competing, collaborate. I often quote Quincy Jones when he said, "You're only as good as your Rolodex." It's about the company that you keep, and that applies to your life as well. Consider how amazing your art could truly be if you set aside worries about what other people are creating. Imagine allowing your creativity to flow freely, expressing yourself in a way that feels natural and uninhibited. That's where the essence of real artistry lies. Take, for example, the moment when you listen to Band of Gypsies. And remember when Jimi Hendrix hit that very first note in the guitar solo for Machine Gun? It's a moment charged with raw emotion and pure talent. Another favorite of mine is George Duke's performance in Solo Flight from Live in Tokyo. When he navigates with his piano with such fluidity, allowing his creativity to unfold in real time. These artists remind us to fully embrace inspiration when it strikes. Follow your creative impulses without fear of others' opinions. True value lies in authentic expression. By trusting your instincts, you can create something extraordinary. So embrace the journey. I often reflect, and a lot of y'all know this, how George Duke has shaped my life. I'm his biggest fan, as all of you well know. And his music is so genuine that it inspires me on my own journey. Even if I'm just rocking out here in the studio and playing my guitar, which is not visible for a very good reason, for an audience of one, myself. And yes, I still do that to this day. My dad is also a crucial part of this journey, providing unwavering support and instilling the passion of music in me. And alongside George's artistic expression, they both inspire me to pursue my own musical aspirations. Their influence reminds me of creativity's power in connecting with others and discovering oneself as I strive to embody that spirit in my work. I've had the incredible honor of winning my first Grammy for my contribution to the record Go-Go Juice by John Cleary. And as I reflect on that recording session, I can assure you that no one entered the studio with anything to prove. We all came in there with the shared goal of creating truly great music. Now, Looking back on those sessions, we had a blast and they were full of laughter and creativity. We never mentioned the word Grammy once, I can assure you of that. Our focus was just going in there, having fun, and jamming out. And so, of course, we ended up winning the Grammy. Shit, we should have said Grammy more often. Many artists chase awards like their golden tickets, missing the true groove of their creativity. Now, when you focus on the music and the vibe instead of trophies, then you really connect with your audience, and that genuine connection is what really counts. All right, now let's talk about the waning joy of creating. Now, Bob Ross was like the original rebel. Now, picture him with his iconic afro, painting happy little trees while people were side-eyeing him, saying, ain't them trees a little bit too happy?
One of the most interesting things that we see as we run across the country teaching this fantastic method is people continually say, I can't draw a straight line. I don't have the talent, Bob, to do what you're doing. That's baloney. Talent is a pursued interest. In other words, anything that you're willing to practice, you can do. And this is no exception.
But that didn't let it stop him. Millions tuned in to watch him work his magic, including myself, both then and in reruns, without worrying about whether they were seeing yet another rendition of a mountain. Instead, we were all glued to our screens, soaking up his infectious joy and easygoing nature. Joy being the key word. But here's where it gets serious. We must confront a profound truth about inspiration. It's okay to admire other people's work. Instead of letting it crush our spirits, let's channel that spark into our own creativity. Wow, what are they doing that I can add into my shit? If we adopt a mindset of support, both as artists and as people, we can create a community that celebrates creativity. Now imagine a world where we can uplift one another instead of comparing ourselves. That's the world I want to live in, straight up, where we become better versions of ourselves, painting unique canvases of joy and unity. All right, now I'm going to challenge y'all. Let's take this year. Let's see if we can do it just this year. And start there, baby steps. Let's stop making people feel bad about their creations, whether it's a spaghetti sculpture or the track that sounds like a cat fighting a vacuum. Everybody deserves love. Just like the artists who broke barriers, we should all feel free to innovate and express ourselves. Remember, pushing boundaries ain't for them people just in the gym. It's for everybody. Inspiration is a two-way street, so let's be sure to inspire others while letting their quirky ideas inspire you right back. Let's keep an open mind, and after all, the more you learn, the more you realize you're just as clueless as a disco dancer trying to moonwalk. It's about embracing the rhythm of diverse ideas. And let's face it, you won't know everything you need to know until you're 6 feet under. So why stress about it now? Death is coming. Don't rush it. Focus on your own journey, which, let's be honest, is more like an obstacle course than a straight path. And as always, when in doubt, just remember to laugh.
This is the best thing of all.
And lastly, as I always say, mind your fucking business. On some real shit though, never forget this. When your artistry becomes competitive, then you miss the mark. Try again.
Well, that was a lot to take in. I mean, I
know I'm long-winded, but
no,
hey, man, I had to
think-
make a point.
I thought it was incredible. I thought you made some amazing points, and I feel you. Yeah, it's not a competition. We do have to support each other, and just enjoy the art. Stop. Like we were talking about with Jelly. Like,
Yeah.
do what you feel. Go where the spirit leads you, but like, stop trying to impress people, especially other musicians. Because guess what? They broke his shit.
Exactly.
Don't-
And so are you. Let's
Right,
stop,
exactly.
Let's
That's
stop
what I'm like-
playing like you,
Yeah.
motherfucker. You broke too.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, that's how I look at it. And it's not important. Look, what prompted me to even go and make this for this episode was that I got that phone call from somebody, and it's not important that you know who that is. I know who it is. But instead of, again, going back to the whole platform thing, it's like, all right, instead of cussing that person out on the phone, take that opportunity and take whatever angst I feel from that. I'm doing exactly what I said in the video, is taking that angst and actually using that and hopefully teaching that person or anybody who feels like they have to be in competition with people. Because, man, we are all working toward the same goal. It's just like when we talk about religion. It's like you got people who call God Jesus, Buddha, Allah. You talking about the same idea that allows you to wake up in the morning and breathe and think with this crazy thinking that you have, throughout the day. So, we just got to be there for each other. And not only that, it's like, look at the fucking world right now. You know what I'm saying? And you're contributing to the fucking worst parts of it when you think that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do what you have to do. Do what makes you feel good. Do what God or whatever the higher power is that you believe in calls you to do. And do the fuck out of it. You know what I mean? Because only you can do that. Like I said, I talk about George Duke all the time. But when George Duke said to me personally, he's like, you'll never be able to do what I can do. But I will never be able to do what you can do. Man, that created a fucking monster. And it really made me understand, like, yo, really get into what you're doing. Because only you can do that shit. Only you can create the vibe that you create. Man, that shit fucking tore me up. And it invigorated something in me, in my spirit and in my creativity that allows me to do the things that I'm able to do now, especially now that I'm sober and I got a clearer mind and I can be like, oh, this shit works with this. And, oh, this is dope. Oh, shit, use this. No, you know what I'm saying? It's a vibe, man. I'm trying to be the Bob Ross of sound. You know what I'm saying?
Balls Rock, first of all.
Take your time. The Crescent Nines got him. They got him.
Bob Ross, in that video, he was talking to a group full of women. He was saying some pimp shit.
He laid the pimp hand down, though, didn't he? Yeah, he did.
I see you, Bob.
Yeah, Bob was that, man.
Yeah,
I also
Bob.
want to shout out my dad and apologize to him for cutting out that insert from that record. I know he was real mad about that. I'll never forget the beat I got from that. And I know that was 40-something years ago, but hey, man.
That record probably cost $4 back then.
Yep, it cost that now.
Yeah. Anyway,
shout out to Stanley Clark.
I loved it, man.
Oh, speaking of which, Stanley Clark is at Jazz Fest, and
Stanley Clark is at Jazz Fest.
Yeah, Jazz Fest is coming. Let's talk about Jazz Fest.
Also, we're gonna go see Yellow Jackets.
The Yellow Jackets are also there
on the day
as well.
We play on a Thursday, and we're gonna go to see the Yellow Jackets afterwards.
It might be a Shadow People sighting at the Soul Brass Man, because I might come up and sit in. Maybe I'll take. Maybe. Hey, who knows?
Okay.
Who knows? I'll come up, say a few words.
You heard it here first.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Quentin's gonna love that.
Oh yeah. Hey man, we on a war tour right now.
Anyway, shout out. Yeah, man, it's festival season, so we're all gearing up for that. We have a lot of work.
Yeah, we got a lot
upon
of work
us,
ahead of us,
which we're all completely grateful for.
Yeah.
I definitely don't want to be we'll talk about this on the next podcast, but I just want to say it now. I definitely don't want to be one of those musicians that people perceives to be ungrateful and complains about how much work we got. Like, I think that's lame.
Yeah.
So I want to say that.
And we have before. And
yeah,
that's
I've been that guy before, but I don't.
Yeah.
Moving forward, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to support those ideas. We live a privileged life. No matter how much we have to work and sometimes struggle to be where we're at, it's still,
because I guarantee you, we'd rather be doing this than fucking selling shoes.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, if I had to deal with like a boss and somebody talking shit to me while I'm trying to do my work at a computer, I don't know how I will be able personally to respond to those scenarios. So I'm glad I don't.
I know
have to do
that I would slap the shit out of somebody.
Right. So this is why you play piano and keyboards and
exactly
sing, because
Exactly.
Anyway. So,
and I also don't want to appear that way too, because I know that sometimes, But that's the thing, is that
because work is work, so you get
work,
frustrated
and
about
it becomes
things.
work when you have to deal with things that don't fall into the 90 minutes that you actually get to have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It is a lot of work, and it takes a lot of work to remain where you are. And again, like I was saying earlier, how I was able to do some work this past week with some people who I really respect and look up to, and it's things like that that lead to those things that make you like, oh yeah, it's grateful. I was telling Jamie the other day, I was like, yo, man, it's so crazy that I'm able to still get in situations that allow me to do that. And it's those times where I'm really grateful that I have to be in an airport at 5 in the fucking morning and getting cut off by somebody who act like they didn't fucking see me, and I want to hit them right in the back of the head, but I can't do that because I got to make my flight. You know what I'm saying? And these are thoughts that I ain't the only one that done thought that way. I know a lot of people that have been in the airport wanting to knock somebody the hell out. You know what I'm saying? But that's work, and that's part of it. And, again, I'd rather be doing that than cleaning the bathroom at Burger King.
Or doing anything at Burger King.
Or doing anything at Burger King.
Despite what De La
Eating
Soul
also.
Despite what De La Soul says about the biddies, I don't.
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
a long time ago.
Yeah,
but anyway,
exactly.
I want to thank Crescent Canna for providing these.
Yeah, grab one.
Refreshing and delicious and intoxicating Crescent Knives.
Yep, and probably on the next episode, I will be drinking one too, because it will probably be shortly after Jazz Fest when we do our next episode. So
we'll probably have some Jazz Fest episodes, but we'll get into that.
And we definitely will. No, we definitely will. We just need to. We gonna work it out. We're gonna work it out.
I want to
worked out.
Also thank the Brown Hound Sounds.
Pound Town.
Brown Hound Sound, Pound Town.
And,
as usual.
Yeah.
I want to thank you too.
Yeah, and I want to thank you, and I want to thank all of the viewers,
episodes.
and I want to thank all of y'all for just hanging out with us for 10 episodes, and we got a whole lot more for you. So again, like and subscribe. Once again, the email is shadowpeoplepodcast@gmail.com. My name is Nigel Hall.
I'm Derrick Freeman.
And we're the Shadow People. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Peace.